Today's show is all about the assessment of friendship. I'm Alvin King, and welcome to We Speak. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to We Speak. Again, I'm Alvin King, and we have our panelists here today. We have James, Shayna, Riley, and Chris. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to open up now with our first question of the day. If any one of your friends was to, if they were asked to describe you as a friend, what would they say?
Hope for me, I would think that people would say that I was humorous, I was selfless, and I was always willing to be there for them whenever they needed me. I hope that's what they would say.
If you were to ask my friends what would describe me best, they would probably say I'm loyal and I'm fair.
Fair. Okay. Okay, James?
I would say gentle, kind, and trustworthy.
I agree with the two of you. I think my friends would say I'm loyal as a Taurus. I'm loyal, but probably over the top and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fun, yeah.
How about you, Chris? Oh, Chris, you opened
I already
up.
answered,
Yeah,
but
you
I
did
can say it
answer,
again.
Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. You
It's
know
okay.
what? I just love hearing you talk, Chris.
I know it.
First of all, I just want you to know that. So you did already answer.
I love you too.
Well, if my friends were to describe me, the one thing I would want them to say and hopefully say was that I was consistent. So that would be the one word that I want my friends to, is the best way that they can describe me. Do you think that you are a better friend to your friend than they are to you?
I know this might be sound horrible, but yes, yes, I do.
That's why
I do because I'm one of those people where, and you can even ask Riley because we know each other. No matter what hour of the night it is, if you call me, I'm going to pick up my phone.
I agree with that.
Because I always feel like there's something could be wrong, or even if you just had a moment that you needed to share, I always pick up my phone because I feel that that could be the last time that I speak to that person. So I always, and then if someone asks me to do something, I try to always do it. And if I can't do it, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that I can't do it. I'm not going to lead you up to that point and then be a disappointment to you. I'm going to tell you that I can't do it. Mm-hmm. And I have friends who, by far, do not follow those rules.
I'm going to, and I hope this doesn't get me cut off of that off your Facebook page because you know I love you. But I have read some postings on your Facebook page where you have said
because I have no filter.
You have no filter, and you have pretty much put out there at a particular time when someone, probably a friend, has not done you well.
Right.
And you have put
no filter.
You have put because you have no filter. Yeah, and some of the posts that I've read from you, I actually like them because I think there's been times when I felt like I've been there for friends and they haven't been there for me. And even of recent, I think I shared with you all a few weeks ago, I was hospitalized. And I can count the people who came to see me at the hospital. And particularly my friends, I'm sure they're watching, but and I love them. But when you think about times like that, when your friend should be there, I know I've always been there for my friends whenever something happened or they needed me to be there. So.
And I think honesty, it is a way of being honest and direct without being malicious. Mm-hmm. And I think that honesty is the best policy because if you can dish something out, you should be able to take it and take it in a constructive way. Mm-hmm. And I feel for myself that I try to always be there for people. And if you can't do something, the simple thing to say is, I don't feel that I can do that. Don't tell someone that you're going to be there for them or something like that. Because a lot of people count on that. Right. Well, especially when it comes to friendships, you count on that trust that, oh my God, that person will be there. Mm-hmm. And I think that don't ever sign yourself up for something that you cannot complete.
Right.
That's how I'll put that.
How about you, Riley?
What was the question again? That was long, girl.
No.
Do you
this is
have you
wrong.
ever felt that you were a better friend to your friends than they are to you?
I have had moments where I felt like I was a better friend. I have actually a similar story. I was in the hospital for a whole month, dying. I almost died. And my two best friends of 9 years completely abandoned me in the hospital. The last time I heard from them to this day was the day I went into the hospital, and that was it. And I think what it showed me was who is really my friend,
Right.
because people like Chris showed up at the hospital and was there, and it made me realize, okay, you know, this would have never happened if the shoe was on the other foot. But you know, I wasn't bitter from it. I wasn't like, you know, pissed about it. I was at the time pissed about it, but not now. But I do feel like now I have friends in my life that we are just as good friends to each other as the other is.
So, what at this point in your lives, what value does friendship hold for you? I mean, I know we just talked about, you know, how someone not being there for you, but do you really place strong emphasis on friendship?
It's everything.
I do, particularly now. You know, as I get older and, you know, and become a bit more estranged from my family, that's who I'm looking to. I'm looking to be there for them as well. You know, if they need, you know, we're getting to that position where we would need each other. We have to create our family. You know, several of us are not that close to our blood relatives, and we're really going to depend on each other to take care of each other. So.
And life happens, and as life happens, having friends is really important. And then as life is happening, you start to really find out who are your real friends and who aren't, because when times get rough and you start to change, that's when you really get to find out what people were there for and why they were around you. I mean, I'm a recovering enabler. So of course, when I was in an enabling mode, everybody was my friend, or everyone wanted to be my friend, because I was so many things for so many people. But once you grow and you learn and you realize you want to be different and you want to be a true friend and you expect true friendship from other people, you start to find out that people start to dwindle away, because I can't say yes, and I won't say yes as often as I said yes before. My phone is not going to be on all night, and I'm not going to answer at all hours of the morning, because I want to get my rest like everybody else. But it doesn't mean to say that I don't want to be a great friend. It just means that I'm not going to be there 24/7 to continue to enable people.
Right.
And when you make those changes in life and you grow, you'll start to find out who's there, who's a real friend and who's not.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, I think for me that I still, even though I'm in my middle 30s, that hurt me to say,
Mid-30s.
it's hard because I've got to the point now where I have to realize I entertain all over the world, so I have a lot of acquaintances, and I have to learn to separate the acquaintance from the friend. You know what I mean? I only have a handful of friends, but I have a million acquaintances. So I have to try to figure, you know, sometimes I mesh them, but you can't mesh them. You have to figure out, you know, who is in it to win it and who isn't.
Right.
And I'll do, you know, I try to be there for my friends, but like you just said something that struck a chord with me. You know how you have those, I had my Oprah aha moment. I'm very the enabler because I try to do everything. I try my best to do everything for everyone. And you know that about me, which is kind of my bad. To me, it's not a bad trait, but it is. It's kind of a double-edged sword because I try to do for everyone. And then when it comes around to me, I kind of get disappointed when people aren't there for me when they make those small promises. But I guess it's just, you know, it's something I have to learn. As the older I get, I'll learn to be more, to weed it out more. But right now, I had my Oprah moment with you. Thank you.
To me, friendship is everything, because, you know, I feel like my friends are my family, and if I don't have my friends, I have nothing. I have no one. And, you know, I find as I get older, and I'm mid-30s too, I find that I have, it's not about the quantity of friends anymore. It's about the quality. I have less friends, but better friends as I get older.
So have any of you, and please feel free to share the example, but have any of you ever been betrayed by a friend?
I feel I have.
Who you have?
Yeah. It took me a minute to, because at first I was like, no, I don't think that's ever happened to me. Then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Yes. I was in a relationship with someone who I was pretty sure was cheating on me. And my best friend, who also befriended my partner at the time, I confided in him that, you know, I think he's cheating. Oh no, he wouldn't do that. And I was like, well, first of all, he's a liar, you know, my partner, who I knew was a liar, you know. And I'm like, okay. And then when it got down to it, and I did discover, he pretty much took his side. And I was like, wow, you know, and I was much younger then, and it was pretty much an ultimatum, him or me. And he chose him. I'm like, okay, see ya.
Wow.
How about you, Shannon?
It's funny because when your friends betray you, for some reason it always seems to relate back to an ex or someone you're dating. It's like betray me for all kinds of things, like steal from me, cheat me. But I had, and this was probably in my early 20s, I had a girlfriend who somehow, some way just decided to release private information that as girlfriends you share amongst yourself with someone that I was dating. And it was such a small detail, but ultimately I felt betrayed, because if I'm sharing this with you on girlfriend time, there is no way that should ever come out, especially to someone I'm seeing.
Yeah, I agree. Chris, Rob?
I think we all have. It just all depends on what you consider betrayal, I guess you would say.
Okay.
I mean, some people, they consider the smallest thing, you know, the smallest thing. Betrayal, I think we all really have. I don't have a particular instance that I can sit here and think of. I know that it's happened to me many times before, whether it's lying or something. I'm a real big person on lying, and I think that lying turns into betrayal, because you should be able to tell the truth no matter how big or small, and you should be able to accept it and move on. And I'm thinking, why do you have to lie to me in the first place? Just tell the truth, and then, you know, we might go through some rough times, but I'll respect you more at the end for you telling me the truth.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's where my betrayal comes in. The sad part is you could probably stab me in the arm, and I would get over that quicker than I'll get over you lying to me, because once you lose my trust, it's gone.
It's gone.
I don't believe anything you say. You could tell me, oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the sky is raining Cheetos. I'm gonna walk outside. I'm going to look with my mouth open. I just don't believe. You know, I think trust in any form of relationship is, you know, once it's gone, it's gone.
That's true. We all have that one friend that enjoys testing the limits. What has made you totally cut off a friend, and do you regret it at all?
I've cut off friends, but I think it's just circumstance. It just depends on how you were feeling that day. Again, lying, like I just said about lying, once you lie to me, that's it, I'm done. I mean, we might talk when I see you on occasion, but we're not going to be good Judy girlfriends, because that's just not what I need in my life right now.
Well, I tend to, gosh, and we're going to get to this later in the show, so I'm going to use the term that we're talking about now, cut off. I tend to cut off friends when they're not consistent. And I say that about myself. Consistency is so important to me, and it also pertains to communication. If you're telling me what you want me to know, I have no reason to doubt that that's what you mean.
Right.
But if you steer to the left or steer to the right, I'm going to question it, and I will begin to cut you off. And I have a little analogy that I say, you no longer sit in the orchestra section of my life. You're now in that first tier. So, and if you tick me off a certain way, you may go to the second tier. Eventually, you'll be out in the hallway if you're not consistent. So, I typically say consistency is something that also pertaining to this question, has someone has betrayed me by not being consistent with me. Okay, do you find it hard to be friends with certain people over time? As you get older, do you find it hard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like what I
absolutely.
said, as you get older, you have less friends,
Yeah.
but the quality is better. Absolutely, because people change, and you change, and you grow, and not everyone grows with you, you know, so it's definitely, it definitely changes, and, you know, people kind of phase themselves out.
Yeah, and I've experienced this. I guess we've all experienced the same thing. It's like, you know, I had friends who were great friends at that time in my life, you know, and as I developed, I noticed it, and one particular friend comes to mind, and I'm like, God, he's in the same place that he was when we were hanging out and partying, and it's like, you know, okay, it's nice to, you know, have a little fun, but it's like, now we got to move past that and, you know, and be grown-ups. And I'm like, wow, he still hasn't grown up. He's still doing the same stuff, It's like, okay. You
And,
know.
and wanting you to do the same stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And not understanding why we're not hanging out like we used to, and why we, you know, I'm like, because I'm not that person anymore, you know.
And as we grow, our behaviors change and our patience change. So I can think of a friend in particular that when we used to go out, it was kind of okay and I wouldn't feel as bad that they were loud. They would speak loud and you're in the restaurant, and when you're younger, ha ha ha, key, it's fine. But now that you're older and you're going to nicer restaurants and they're the same loud person, it kind of makes you shrivel up, and I kind of think, okay, I'm looking around and I'm worried about, oh yeah, this is not the behavior. And then before, when the wait staff would come over and they have a concern or an issue, you would just look and you would laugh and it was funny. But as you get older, it's like, okay, you're obnoxious, you're rude, you don't know how to talk to people, and I'm not going out with you anymore. Because your patience just changes as you get older, and then you kind of have to fizzle the things that you do with those people out.
I agree with everything you just said. I think it's, again, it just goes to your tolerance level. I can tolerate something that, you know, in my 20s that I could not tolerate when I was in my 30s. You know, and it, like you said, it's about consistency levels. And like everything that we said before applies, I think.
Before we go into a commercial break, I'm going to ask you, have you ever had a friend to, say you're going out somewhere and you invite a friend to go out with you, and you're waiting for that friend to come over to your house, and that friend shows up in something that's totally inappropriate for the place or time or wherever you're going? How would you handle a situation like that?
I've had that happen. And I play, and again, I have no filter. I'll be like, I'll get the eye roll.
I mean, would you tell them?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if we're going to somewhere that's decent and you're walking in front of me with holes in your clothes and where are you going with that? Where are we going? You know what I mean?
And that's going someplace that's a certain kind of class.
And that's not
they
being
dress like a
rude.
hoe.
Right.
That's being truthful.
And
I
this is
think-
even after you've told them where you're going, and you've told them where you're going, and they still show up looking inappropriate.
And that's when I'm like, you stay here at the house, I'm going to go there. I'm going to come back and then we'll go to McDonald's. We're going to go for how you're dressed.
No, I think that's what we're going for. I have the luxury of having a boutique in my home, so, or at least my closet feels that way to me. So I mean,
She tried that.
She did. She
Did
did.
she
She did.
not?
Because we all looked at her like, really?
Did you?
Okay.
We all,
That wasn't on your bio.
Yeah,
Well, go
I do.
ahead. Okay.
So the funniest thing about it is I've had this happen before. And it's rough because you want to be nice to a person and everybody has their own sense of fashion. But I always feel that my friends they're an extension of my brand. So the last thing I'm going to do is get caught outside being photographed with you, and you look like you are on your way to the gym and I look like I'm on my way to the Oscars. So what I would just do immediately is hair and makeup is on. I'm now all of a sudden a hair and makeup artist, and now I'm your stylist.
So you will help a friend out. You will for the betterment of the event, or
For the
just
betterment of me, because I'm
For
vain
you,
that
because
way.
of how
I will
you
admit
should-
I'm vain that
okay,
way.
okay.
But for the betterment of them, because I don't want them to feel out of place. And most of the time, people like that won't feel out of place.
Right.
They came in their outfit and they think what they're doing is the right thing, but I know better than that. So yeah, I would definitely cordially nudge and insist on an outfit change.
Well, I've actually been on both ends of the spectrum, believe it or not. I have went out on a date with someone to the theater, and I didn't know this person didn't like leather pants. And I come downstairs and I have on a pair of leather pants, and the person says, you can't wear those. Well, first of all, that's a control issue for me. But I mean, for those of you who know me, I mean, it's all subjective. You dress, the way you feel comfortable. But I've been on both ends where he actually said that, he didn't like leather pants, and so I couldn't wear them. So needless to say, I had purchased a ticket, so I called someone else and we went to see the play.
Yeah, that sounds like another issue.
Yeah,
That-
preference
that's
is
a whole
different.
nother issue.
Preference
Whole
is
nother
different
issue.
than appropriateness.
I've also had someone to come over to my house that was not appropriately dressed for a place that I said that we were going, and because this person had just undergone a horrendous weight loss, her her confidence was so good. I didn't want to shatter it because she thought she looked good, and I didn't want to insult her to say no, so I spared her feelings and I put my feelings in my pocket, and we went out with her dressed the way she was. So I thought for her, I did it for her, because I didn't want to embarrass her or make her feel less than after she came in with all this confidence from the weight loss and thinking that what she had on was appropriate.
I'm mad at you for that.
Okay, I'm sure.
But how did you feel?
Huh?
How did you feel?
Actually, I really had to go in and just, you know, deal with it because I felt better after it because
No.
I had to. I had to
No,
find a place.
I can't. Because we've all been out and we've seen people and we've said those cannot be your friends because if they were friends, they would not have let you leave the house like that.
Well,
and you let this woman leave the house that way.
With me. So to that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break and we will be right back. Thank you.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go to knowhowtogo.org.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
In 2012, there were 88 homicides in the District of Columbia.
In 2013, 104, including a dozen killed at the Navy Yard.
By mid-June in 2013, just over 30 people had been killed.
In the first half of 2014, roughly 50 homicides were recorded.
This is nearly double last year's rate.
The lives of residents hang in the balance when crime in our community increases.
People across the district are at a higher and higher risk
of becoming victims.
Stop the violence.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If a friend of yours makes a statement, I know I'm not supposed to tell you this, when it is obvious they cannot wait to tell you, basically sharing someone else's secret. Then after telling you to swear to secrecy that you won't tell anyone else. What would your opinion be of that person?
That anything that I've told them, they've probably gone to someone else and said,
Exactly.
well, Riley told me not to tell you.
However,
So basically that person will pick up and do the same thing to someone else. Have you ever had that happen to you?
I haven't, but I think it depends on the relationship you have with that friend. You know, we are very quick to call people our friends who really aren't our friends. Is it a friend or is it more an acquaintance? You know, and I think a true friend, you might feel more comfortable, you know, and them giving you that type of information, but feeling more comfortable that they would not share something that, you know, and that is a true friend, you know. But again, we're very quick to call people our friends when they really aren't our friends.
When they really aren't our friends. I like that, James. I like that. Some of you might have thought that you've answered this question, but do you feel like your friends owe you 100% honesty at all times?
My friends, absolutely yes. I think now we should give tiers to friendship because you know, people sometimes say acquaintance and some people say I socialize with this, but friendship is friendship, and I think ultimately we all know who the true core of our friends are. And for me, my true core friends and my true core friends that are listening and watching this show, if you didn't know, today you know, 100% honesty is a requirement on all things.
and I would rather you tell me what I need to hear rather than what I want to hear, because what you need to hear is going to make you a better person, and also your honesty to me is going to show me that you care about me and you care about my well-being. And there's a lot of people, like you said, and I've said it before, we have 1,000 friends. We can have 1,000 friends, or we can have 1,000,000 acquaintances. I know I can hold my true friends in the palm of my hand, and I'm sure you guys can do the same. And I think that a true friend will always lead you in an honest path.
Particularly when it's delivered with love.
Right.
when it's delivered with
I
love.
don't believe in yes friends. Like, don't tell me exactly what I need to hear when I'm in the truth, or what I'm supposed to hear. Being being in the entertainment industry, like, people will tell you all kinds of stuff, and I feel like I need to be told the truth at all times. Like, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean? And not just like, oh yeah, no, you're right, Lennox, go ahead and do it. You know, whatever. I don't like that. I need people that tell me yes when I'm supposed to hear yes, and no when I'm supposed to hear no.
So
And now you don't have to tell me in front of people. Let's talk about that. Don't tell me in front of people.
Right.
Don't tell me on
Be
Facebook.
tactful.
Don't jump on
Exactly.
Instagram and
Right.
tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Talk to me offline and pull me to the side, but I do require 100% honesty.
I don't need
and
you to
truth.
agree with me at all the time. Just tell me the truth.
Well, basically, you guys have kind of answered some of the next question. If one of your friends is on a destructive path, of course you don't want them to hurt themselves. Would you just outwardly just tell them that they're on a destructive path? Do you feel like, and I say that because sometimes when friends are in relationships that you know are destructive, sometimes it's almost like crossing the line a bit to tell them, I think that your man or your woman isn't for you, and that's basically what you're saying, and that can also ruin a relationship with people.
I think
So
you have to do it in a non-judgmental way.
how do you do that?
How do you do it in a non-judgmental way?
Well, I think it's also about showing them that you love them, and you're trying to make sure that their life goes in a good path. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're honestly, truly friends with somebody, if they come to you and say, you know, I don't think that this relationship is healthy for you, you being a friend should be able to accept that. You might not agree with it at that time, but you should be able to accept it because that's your friend's feeling.
Exactly.
It's a slippery slope.
That's a slippery slope. Yeah.
My best friend, I found out that his partner was cheating on him, and I felt that I needed to share that with him. He did not receive it well.
Right.
He did not receive it well.
Because he
at
didn't want to
all.
receive
He
it.
did not
Denial.
want to receive
Exactly.
it.
He's in denial. He didn't want to receive
So
it.
it's a really slippery slope, you know, what you can share, you know, and I learned my lesson. It's like, particularly with relationships, it's like, okay, that's something I can't step into, you know.
But for me, I think you did the right thing, though, because if my man was cheating on me, I would want you to tell me.
I would want to know, too.
If we're really close and you know what I'm saying? I would want you to tell me.
me,
I would
yes.
not want to find out from
Right.
someone else.
Right.
I'd want someone that loved and cared about me to tell me.
Right.
And I might not agree with you when you tell me, but I'll process it. And when I process it, you know, then I'll take care of it. You know what I mean?
Because it would be even worse to find out that your friend knew.
Knew and
And
didn't
didn't tell you.
Yes, yes.
It's almost like a double-edged sword if you think about it, because the person's
is.
going to be mad if you didn't tell
Right.
them, and they're going to be mad if you do tell them.
Right.
So,
And I think that goes back to the definition of friend. What type of friend is this? Is this person, you know, close enough to you where you can say it and you're still okay afterwards? Because I had a new friend, a girlfriend, who I knew her boyfriend was gay. The boy was, you know, and I'm like, how can she not see this? But I didn't feel it was my place to share with her,
Many can't.
you know, that, you know, your boyfriend is gay. Until somebody called her and told her to come home. And then she found out.
Wow, 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 wow.
on the next.
Yes.
It's almost like
right.
when we're in relationships, we have those type of difficult conversations with our mates to find out how they want to be communicated with. And I think with friendships, it should be the same. So you should have a conversation with your friend. Hey, if I know your mate is cheating, do you want to know? Do you want me to tell you? Because some people want to know and some people don't want to know. They just want to live in denial. And I think that's really good that we should go and do friendship evaluations and ask the question, how much would you want me to tell you? If I think you're in a destructive relationship, do you actually want me to tell you? Are you going to be mad at me? Because you never know. Some of your friends may want to know, some of them may not.
That was the answer, the question that I was posing to Riley. How do you do that, right? Because sometimes you have to have that dialogue with your friends. I mean, you have to be able to say, if I tell you this, or I have some information for you, and I just want to make sure that you want to hear this, and you can tell me no, and we can keep it moving. But if you do, I need to share something with you. So,
And then when I share it with you, I need to know how you're going to
you're going
react.
to react, right?
Exactly.
If you're going to be able to receive it.
Right, receive it. Ooh.
My friends know, never tell me I look fat. Just say, hey, you want to go to the gym? Okay, I receive it better that way. It's just certain things
I know what you mean.
you just can't say.
What What is the number one off the top of your head deal breaker that would cause you to end the best friendship you've ever had?
Telling me I'm fat. No, I'm kidding.
I guess for me it would be just inconsistency, like I said before, dishonesty. Because again, if someone's going to lie to you about something small, they're going to lie to you about something big. And so why do you need that person in your life? That person obviously can't tell you the truth about that. So how's he going to tell you the truth about yourself in case there's something about you that needs to be changed, or something that, if he sees you in a path of destruction like we talked before, how do you know that person's going to tell you the truth? They're just going to just tell you what you want to hear.
Is it a one-time thing, or do you look for trends?
I think for in friendships, again, it's just all goes to that honesty factor, don't you think? I mean, don't you guys think it goes back to that? If you lie once, you're gonna do it again.
But see, I'm a little different because I
white
think
lies.
it's because I'm a Taurus. I have to.
Well,
let
white
things-
lies are different than I guess they are. Well, are they? Are they really?
Regret your life,
That's-
find a thief. I don't know.
Yeah, I have friends who I know are liars. I know that they, make up things, and but I still love them.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
live in fairy
yeah.
tale
I
land.
sometimes think I know you're lying, but at least it was a good story.
Right.
It didn't affect my life for the good or the bad, but it was a good story. But I know you're lying.
And it's about you, creating something
Right.
about you,
Right.
to maybe impress me or
Exactly.
others,
Or make
But when
feel,
it comes
make you
to-
feel better about
But
yourself.
when it comes down to that person, how do you know when you really need to believe that person? How do you know if they're honestly telling you the truth? That's where my question always comes in, because I have a lot of friends who I refer to as tall tale friends, who they'll be like, I drive a Mercedes and they drive a Pinto, and I do this and I do that, But when it comes down to it, how do you know if that person's really not good for you, because they're never going to be honest with you?
I think that liar friend is at a certain level. That's not the person
Tier 4 friendship.
Yes.
Tier
That's
4.
not the person you bring close to you.
Right.
This is the person you keep here. That person might be fun to hang with, or
Entertainment purposes
but
only.
When they invite you to a party, you go, but you just go.
I read
Right,
something on
right.
Instagram.
You just go.
Right.
I read something on Instagram that it had Marla Gibbs' face, but it said in the caption, someone put a caption, not everybody is your friend. Some bitches are just cool to hang with.
Okay.
And that's
Exactly.
that is
That's
absolutely
exactly what it
true.
is.
Not everybody's your friend. Some people are just cool to go out
Right.
and hang with,
Right.
but
And
they're not your
entertaining.
friend. They're entertainment.
I'm going to switch. We're going to talk about something that we talked about in another show, but somewhat. Is it okay to date the ex of a friend?
No. Oh, sorry. No.
Okay.
Sweet Lord. she
Point
said that
blank in the
wrong.
period, no.
Is it okay
The
to do
ex
that?
of a friend is the ex of the world. Like, that person no longer exists. You don't even speak to them really when you see them. They're the ex. When your friend breaks up with them, you break up with them. You don't know them. You don't see them. It is just off limits, and ew, that's nasty.
I have a
So-
completely
It would make
different
things
answer.
awkward, though. Make
Okay.
things so
Ew,
awkward.
that's
So
nasty.
in your world, once you break up with someone, your friends and your family also
We've all broken
terminate.
up with
We've
this
all
person.
broken up. So your friend cannot speak to that, or all ties are cut.
And my friends know this.
Okay.
My friends
All
know
right.
we done
Okay.
broke up with this person. We have divorced. We are over. I mean, because I don't have any kids. If there are kids in question, then that's a little bit different. But
Okay.
for single people, we're over, all of us.
Okay.
I think for me, it's different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I would, if I was dating James, I would not want James to stop talking to all of you because we broke up. I don't feel that, I feel that you made friends with those people also, and their friendships are valuable to you, so why should you have to stop talking to them because we broke up? You know what I mean? But as far as dating is concerned, I don't know. I'm kind of, I would never do it, but I feel like who's to say that the person that you could spend the rest of your life with is not that person?
That means you were thinking about them the whole time I was dating them. No, sir. No, sir.
I'm saying, who says that I was not thinking about that person while you were dating it, but who says 15 years from now that person cannot be the person that you spend? See what I'm saying?
That means
But
15
is
years
that
ago,
person
you
still
were
your
thinking
friend
about that
then?
person the whole time I was dating them.
No,
sir.
no.
I mean,
It would just
I've
make it
heard
so
that
awkward for
happen,
the
but
person
it's
you're
like,
friend.
and it was a great deal of time in between, and I had no ill will towards that person. I do think time can be an issue. I think you know, the closest of that friend can be an issue. Is it an acquaintance friend? Is it a, you know, close to your heart friend? Or is it, you know?
Circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna have ill will, but I'm gonna be side-eyeing.
I kind of feel the same way that Shayna does, but in this world, you know, and sometimes you may run across that person that might have been an ex of someone, and that person might be the person, like you said, that that sparks whatever, and you spend the rest of your life with. You may not have had any type of desire for this person while we were together. So, but somehow, no why, no why. But somehow, now, but somehow, some way, it does happen. But you know, I have to agree with Shayna. When I'm done,
Well, can I say that this is probably going to like completely destroy this whole panel? I was in a relationship for 10 years, and the gentleman that I was with was a friend, he was an ex of an acquaintance. Okay, we were in a relationship for 10 years, and we fizzled out. It was fine. The gentleman that I'm dating now was also a friend of an acquaintance. You know what I'm saying?
This is a pattern. This is a pattern. You have established a pattern.
I said acquaintance, not a friend. See?
Acquaintance, but that wasn't the question.
No, I'm getting to the point. I'm getting to the point. I'm just saying that I feel that you could, like, if it has to be time in between. But I'm saying if there's 5 years between, 2 years between, you never know. Love comes in many different forms, and I don't think you should ever block your blessings. And I think that a true friend would get over it.
Betrayal comes in so many different forms. Don't block your blessings with betrayal.
Well, I want you to know that I will never date someone that you've been with.
And I won't let you.
Actually,
Our friendship means too much to me.
I had a very close friend of mine ask me if I minded if he dated an ex of mine.
I think that's cool.
And you
What did you
said,
say?
I was like, sure.
I think that's
no
cool.
problem.
so you and I are on the same wavelength right now.
I think that's cool.
Oh, so you were being, you were
That was
catty.
shade.
No, I wasn't.
All
No,
shade.
but it was okay.
Next on
It
We
was.
Speak.
Well, I tend to like Chris and Shayna's fingers, so I'm going to do this.
Did you like that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this commercial break.
No, what'd she say?
She said whatever.
No, she says that all the time.
What's that?
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Mom, I'm on the phone!
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Who's this? It's me. I'm on the phone. Mom.
Oh, you're on the phone. All right.
Sorry!
Sorry.
Sorry.
The odds of a child being struck by lightning? 1 in 600,000.
Okay, that's it. You're done. Let's go.
The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn the signs. Go to autismspeaks.org.
Once you post your image online, you can't take it back. Anyone can see it. Family, friends, anyone. Remember, think before you post.
This friends and family segment, if y'all, I'm being serious when I say that. If y'all notice, we've really answered the same question 10 times. I'm counting.
You let her go out, Alvin. You really let her
But
leave
then
out.
again, you don't have a boutique in your
I
house.
have a boutique in my house. I couldn't do this. Boom.
Mr. Producer, I'd like to
knew
go
it
on
was
record
me.
to say
I knew
that
it.
I do not use my hands that much, and James used his hands the entire time. Can he get scolded, please?
But
If I was a
So
woman,
is that
I'd rather be
card
her.
full?
I live for her. Isn't she beautiful?
Oh.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Is she gorgeous?
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
whose
you. You
card?
guys are kind to me.
She makes me want to cross
This
So you
is
have
the
another
self-esteem
card?
section. I like it. Thanks.
That's why you always have gay men in your life.
You don't have to take any more.
I need you
I need shots
to bear
from my-
with me because these next questions.
we'll just don't answer to me.
I'm sorry, it's your show, Tony. I'm sorry.
Next on We Speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Before we get to the end of the show, if you have any questions that you'd like to pose to us here at the panel, please visit our Facebook page at Facebook/WeSpeak, and let us know how you feel about the show. We would love to hear from you. I'm sure the panel would as well, correct?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Our next question here, would you ever become romantically involved with someone that has dated a friend of yours? It's a little flip on what we asked, the question we asked before we went into the commercial break.
No comment.
No one wants to answer?
I don't see them. They're invisible. They don't exist.
Yeah.
They are invisible in my world. I couldn't. I don't know them.
Well, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Yeah,
That's my answer. Nope.
I have to agree. There is so much out here in the world to date. The last thing that I need to date is a friend of a friend of mine. I mean, I just don't see the need to do that because the chaos begins and the questions begins, and I don't need to really have to justify anything to any of my friends. And I think, let's keep it neutral and keep it moving, and let me find someone else that doesn't have an attachment.
But you know what's so funny is DC is so small.
Yes.
That sometimes it happens without you even knowing it.
Exactly.
And then someone said,
Exactly.
I used to date him. Oh.
Right.
I know that, And so, yeah, DC is so small. It's like, just don't date anybody.
But when you know, right, but when you know, you can definitely, manage or make a decision to or not do it, correct?
Yeah, I can't even think of touching someone or having someone touch me. What does that taste like? I don't know. It just doesn't even feel like it. Yeah.
Your friend did it better.
Yeah. Which one of us is better? What did you like? Yeah, I can't. It just, yeah. Not so much, no comment.
Me either.
I've heard, now I know we've said no, that we wouldn't do it pretty much, but there are some people in the world that I've spoken to that feels that they could do it, but it has to be a grace period.
That sounds so like something I would
Shayna's
have
still
said.
giving
like
you the
if
side
was-
eye. She's still giving you the side eye. No.
But go ahead, Chris. I'm
But
sorry.
again, like me and James were saying, why block your blessings? Because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you never know. In 10 years, I don't think your friend's worried about that egg. You never know what God sends your way. That could be the person you spend the rest of your life
You
with.
might be right. In 10 years, they might be so over
And
the
so-
person.
and that person-
like,
person's
girl,
an
you can
X
have
for a
them, I don't care.
reason.
And that person can be
Right.
so different. And I think God puts people, if you're a religious person, God puts people in our life for a reason. And maybe, who's to say that the person you could be with the rest of your life might not have dated one of your friends? You can never. I'm sorry. I just feel you can never say that.
I agree with that.
It's very much. It could be very much. Good luck with that.
You're gonna put that one on God? You're gonna put that one on God? Chris?
No, I'm not.
So now you're gonna have me side-eyeing God. That's what you're saying? You're gonna have me side-eyeing God?
God puts people in our life for a reason. Who's to say that the person that completes you or wants you that you could be with for the rest of your life could not be one of your friends' exes? I think anything in this world, if you keep an open mind, anything is possible. It's all, look at her, she's ready to explode.
No, that has just opened Pandora's box. I mean, like, everything is possible, yes.
But
at
don't
some
you
point,
think it's possible? Seriously, don't you think
it
it's
is,
possible?
but at some point, for me, it's an ethical thing. It becomes ethics and standards and character values. And regardless of any of everything else, I cannot. I won't accept
I'm not saying doing it like, if they break up today. I'm not
10
saying
years,
you're doing
20, I don't care how
Oh,
many
I just had a
decades.
question. Sorry. But Shayna, have you ever dated someone and thought, oh my God, this person's not for me, but he would be a great person for my friend blank?
Never.
Never?
I've dated people that I said, this person isn't right for me, but they'll make someone else happy.
But not like one.
But
Like, oh
not
my
one of
God,
your
your
friends.
personality is so much like my friend.
Not one of your
No?
friends. Okay.
I'm selfish.
I think she's. You're not selfish. She's just having no parts.
Has any one of you ever performed a friend's assessment? I know you used the word evaluation today, but have you performed a friend assessment? And I ask that question because I perform friend assessment. I do an assessment on my friends all the time, and I've asked them to do an assessment of me because we do change. And like you said, sometimes the things that we used to like, say, do, we don't feel that way. I've heard from some people that they thought it was very shallow to do an assessment of your friends. So how do you feel
I
about that?
don't think it's shallow, but don't we really do an assessment on people when we first meet them, regardless?
Period. And you know what? It's really funny because I was sitting here thinking a few minutes ago, when we are dating someone and we're getting to know them, you don't just meet someone and say, oh, you're my boyfriend, or oh, you're my girlfriend.
Right.
But we can meet people, so why should it be any different with friends? Why don't you kind of have to court them too? You kind of have to get to know them to decide whether they are actually going to be your
Right.
friend.
So you're
you know, you don't
assessing
assess
them.
exactly.
Well, I do it in the beginning. I mean, I certainly assess friendships in the beginning, but I'm saying after 4 or 5 years, I think it's important
Yeah, 'cause you
that
change.
you have to look at that. And again, I've gotten some negative feedback on that on that question. Some people say that what's that term? If seasonal friends are here or come in for a season,
a reason, or a
season, a
lifetime.
reason, or a lifetime. That's a question that you should always ask yourself when you're talking about friendships. What are they here for? How
They
long are
come in
here?
your life for a
Mm-hmm.
season, and some come in for a lifetime, and sometimes we get those confused.
Have you ever done a friends assessment and know that you've done it?
Yeah.
I think
On the
for
daily.
me,
On the daily.
I think for me it just happens organically. It's like
Okay.
you know that your relationship has changed. You
Yeah.
know that we're kind of going this way.
Yeah.
You know, we'll still maybe be in touch, but we don't have the same relationship that we had, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You know, when I was 23 years old, I did, which was,
Last year?
ironically.
Last year?
No, ironically, right before I did, I did my transition, I did this thing where I prayed to God and I said, I want give me the ability to see people for who they really are. And I did a friendship assessment, and I kind of did an evaluation of everybody that was in my life. And the people that were in my life that were meaning me no good, or that weren't serving a purpose in my life, I started to push them away. And the people that were already in my life, and I thought, wow, this is a really good person. Let me draw closer to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it works. It definitely works.
Well, it definitely works for me.
Yeah.
Some people stay, some people leave, and then you also get a chance to assess yourself as well, because your friends are a reflection of you and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got people around you that values may not be the same as yours, or they don't view friendship the same way you view it, it's a reflection of you. And some of those things really start to rub off. And even though we say as adults, I make my own decisions, I'm not influenced by other people, we definitely are. The more time you spend with bad people, more of their bad behaviors you'll pick up on.
Absolutely.
So we definitely have to be aware and conscious of the type of people we put around us.
Right. How do you know when you can trust a person?
I think when you, again, it goes to when you first meet someone, you actually assess them and you look at their character and the way they respond and react to other people and how they talk about other people. And then I think from the beginning you can tell that when you can trust someone or not, I think, because you're already, like, again, you're already doing an assessment of that person as soon as you meet them, and you can tell someone's character.
And I tend to say I disagree, because I have had one of my relationships where I thought I trusted this person, and this person totally deceived me. I mean, literally, when the relationship ended, I said, "Who are you?"
But in your heart, in your heart, did you know that? Did you really feel? Did your heart tell you something was wrong? Because I'll tell you, for me, the heart never lies, and sometimes the head ignores the heart. But you probably knew from the beginning something wasn't right.
No, I knew. You know, I knew that. Like everybody else, this person wasn't perfect, but the level of deceit that occurred, no one could have told me.
And this is at
You
your
saw
breakup?
no signs when you look back?
I saw no signs, and believe me, I've looked back. I saw no signs to say that this person could have deceived me to that degree.
And this was at your breakup?
This was at the breakup.
That probably means that person was bitter. And that person, I'm being honest,
Yeah.
that person was bitter, and that was that person's way to get back at you for being hurt. Some people handle breakups way differently. Some people like to destroy the other person, which I think is completely unnecessary.
Wait a minute, I think I might have misunderstood you. So wait a minute, you're saying that, I'm saying that this person, when we broke up, that's when I realized that the person had deceived me.
Oh, deceived you throughout the whole relationship?
Oh, throughout the whole relationship?
Oh,
no.
I think I misunderstood.
After it's over, it's done, gone,
Oh, they were a
kaput.
psychopath.
No,
You can't really.
this is, so I'm saying, how do you know when you can trust someone? This is someone who you couldn't have told me that I should not have trusted this person. So when do you know that you can actually trust someone?
I think for each person it's different. Like my evaluation, your evaluation, yours, it's all different. And I think that some people, and this is awful to say it, but some people are just good at lying. Some people can create a facade, and they can live in a fantasy life, and they can make you believe it, no matter how much, and even, I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can pretty much tell if you're lying to me or not, and I think that's come from being, bitter and scorned, but and being hurt in the past. But you know what I mean? You learn from the stuff that's happened to you. You can tell. But I think that a lot of people are just good at what they do. A lot of people are deceptive people. And it's sad. This world is not like it used to be.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's certain things, I find it's certain things you can trust people with. Because there's some people, you know, you can put money on a table and you can walk away.
Right.
And it'll be there when you come back. But can you put like your deepest, darkest secrets on the table? And what are they going to do with them? And then it's some people, they can hold those secrets until they're under duress or under distress. Like you said, there was a breakup and then now all your secrets are gone. But then there are some people who just have that core value within themselves that when we were friends, whatever I shared with you will stay with us. And even when the friendship or the relationship is over, those secrets are still within me.
Yeah, that's
because that's my character. That's who I am.
Yeah, that respects you. Like for
respect
you,
themselves.
it's amazing that someone that can lie to you. As good as I know you as a person, so as good as you are to people, I don't know how someone could continuously lie to you throughout the relationship. How that wasn't eating that person alive. You know what I mean?
Well, it didn't eat them enough, but go
But
ahead.
I'm saying some people. The thing is this: I think that some people get so comfortable. And some people are just manipulative.
They start to believe the lie.
It's sad. If they start to believe the life that they're giving you. And I think that most people like that need to have we need to walk around, you know how you said you do a friendship assessment? People need to walk around with a warning label on their chest. This is what I'm about to do to you, and this is what I'm about to say. Take it for what it's worth. You know what I mean?
Right, well.
And it just goes back to honesty, because if that person cared about you, they would have been honest with you from the beginning.
Exactly.
But that person was comfortable, and they took you for granted.
Right. What are the makings of an ideal friend based on where you are right now in your life?
I think at this point in my life, I need someone who, again, is honest with me. Honesty is the best thing for me. Someone who's consistent and someone who is real. Those three things, I don't care what you say to me or how you say it. I want you to be real with me, because I feel that when you sugarcoat stuff, that's when it starts getting into that gray area. Just be real with me. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me about yourself, what I need to know about you. Let's just be open and honest with each other. I think that's one of the things that I need for me.
Right.
Well, I'm kind of like at a point in my life where, I'm just kind of incapable of BS. So I definitely feel like you. I need someone who is consistent and someone who is honest, and I need them actually in that order. And the reason I say that is because I don't need to guess on which day you're going to be my friend or what circumstance you're going to be my friend. I need to know that you're always my friend, through thick and thin, 24/7.
Okay.
At this point in my life, I think spiritually I'm somewhere today that I probably wasn't 5 or 10 years ago. So my friends or people that are in my close circle, I definitely need them to have their own spiritual foundations so that they'll know the difference between right and wrong, and that their moral and character values are where I need them to be. And they don't have to mirror mine, but they at least have to be somewhere on the same page. So that's going to be the foundation of utmost importance. And then I've mentioned loyalty a million times. I definitely need people who understand loyalty and who are loyal and understand consequences. Consequences, I'm big on that too. So, and then it's just got to be people that I can trust and people who are happy with themselves. Your life doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be happy with everything that's going on in your world, because we all have our own trials and tribulations, but you have to be happy with who you are and know what path you're on today in order to be a friend with me now.
All right.
I'd really like friends who are reliable, and I want to be that friend to my friends as well, because I at this point in my life, I'm definitely creating family from friends, and I'm very much a nurturer and a caregiver. And I've been in the position where I had wonderful friends when I lived in New York. I had back pain, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't clean. I had friends that came over and cleaned my apartment, went grocery shopping for me. And about 10 years later here, where my family is, had the same situation. I couldn't pay my family to come over to help me, and that's what I want again. I want to have friends, and I want to be there for them should they need help. I had a friend who recently had a heart attack, and he's in Atlanta, and I stayed with him when I was there looking for places, and I just so wanted to be there for him, and that's the type of relationship that I want now, that family of friends where we are really there for each other, and we're taking care of each other and lifting each other up.
Well, for about 35 years, I've had a very, very, very good friend who I call my best friend in the entire world. And just as we hear Gail is to Oprah, his name is George. And if I was to dedicate this show today to anyone, it would be to him, because he is the epitome of everything that all of you have said that you'd like to have in a friend. And for 35 years, this person has elevated me to any place that I've ever wanted to go in my entire life. And so I wish for everybody that's on this panel and who's watching today, who's in our audience, that you can have a George in your life, because believe me, it certainly makes life for me much better. So on that note, we're going to close the show. I want to thank our studio audience for being here today. I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank all the camera and crew who's been working today to make us look so good. And most importantly, to the panel, who have done a tremendous job as always. So again, we will end our show today. And until we meet again, when next we speak, have a good night. Bye-bye.